sometimes we approach fasting as we go into the fast with the decision that or the answer that we have in mind, and we think like, Lord, I'm fasting so you can move in this direction. So bless this.
Right. Like,
Do it this
here's
way.
what I have. Like, please put a blessing on it. This is in 1 Corinthians 9, Paul talks about discipline, right? And he talks about his body, and he says, like, I don't just beat the air like a boxer beating aimlessly, right? I don't just run without a direction, right? He says, but I strike a blow to my body, and I discipline myself. I discipline my body, and I put it under subjection. I make my body under subjection, so that after I've preached to others, I myself won't be disqualified. And so it's like, sometimes when we think about discipline in that regard, right? He says, I strike a blow to my body. In other words, I cause discomfort to it. So fasting, right? When we fast, it's not comfortable. We be hungry, right? You like, I just want to love, you know what I'm saying? Number one for Chick-fil-A, no pickles, you know what I'm saying? Whatever, right? But I strike a blow to my body and make it obedient. Like, there's a process in which when you begin to fast and do it more often, you realize it's not necessarily even that it gets easier, but it's that your body literally becomes trained to do whatever you tell it to do. So at one point I probably need to get back on it. Maybe we can do that in some way. But like, I used to fast like every Monday, right? Just a 6 to 6 fast. And I did it for a season. And at first I'd be like, yo, by like 12-1, I'm like, bro, I'm hungry. Now, keep in mind, there were some days that it was like 12 or 1 that I hadn't even eaten yet. But it's the day you decide to fast that you extra hungry. But I would do it, and it's like, I don't know if I can, right? And so it's that dependency on God. Like, yo, I need you to help me because I'm struggling. But I noticed after a while that 6 to 6 wasn't as I don't want to say bad. Like, fasting is a good thing, but it wasn't as difficult. In the sense of just the hunger. And it wasn't that my body desired any less food. It was that my body got used to being told no, right? And so that's what part of what fasting does. It's not necessarily always just to get answers or we think like, if I fast, if I need an answer for something, or I fast if I have to do this thing and go somewhere. It's like, yeah, that's good. But part of fasting is so that your flesh can say, he in control, like, right? Mike is in control. Whatever, through the Holy Spirit, whatever Mike is supposed to do is going to get done. And so I just encourage you as you go about praying to fast and how to fast, to keep that in mind, that it's not this works thing where it's like I got to earn, but it is let me make sure my body is subject to the Holy Spirit in a way that's proper. Does that make sense? Anything?
No, I was just going to touch on the fasting piece in terms of like seeking those answers as well, making sure that sometimes we approach fasting as you were talking about, making that decision. We go into the fast with the decision that or the answer that we have in mind, and we think like, Lord, I'm fasting so you can move in this direction. So bless this.
Right. Like,
do it this
here's
way.
what I have. Like, please put a blessing on it. This
is what it is. But moving from that, having a posture of, Lord, what is your will?
Yeah.
Your will be done.
Yeah. No, and it's like we almost treat fasting as if it's like a cheat code to hear God's voice. And it is in one sense, but it's not in another. Meaning, by disciplining yourself, disciplining your bodies, cutting out distractions, cutting out things that hinder you from hearing God, you do hear from God. But fasting is not a thing of, if I fast, I better get an answer. Right. If you treat it like that, there's going to be times where he doesn't give you an answer. Because there's times, even when you go to it in the right way, that you fast and you come out of it with nothing. Because that's what God decided to do. Again, he's God. We don't write the rules, right? But I want to encourage you in that if you fast and you feel like, oh, I fasted, so I should come out with all knowledge of every mystery no, like, sometimes you just fasted, you decided to sacrifice food for that moment, and God honors your sacrifice, but it doesn't always mean you get what you want.
And he may speak to you about something totally unrelated
to
what it was.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But because you've put your body, you put the flesh under submission to the spirit, now you're able to hear, right? Or you're able to hear clearer because you've eliminated those distractions, those impediments to hearing the voice of God. And so he may speak to you about something completely different.
Yeah.
And being okay with that. That is worship. That's being a living sacrifice. Lord, I came into this fast thinking this is what I was going to hear or expecting to hear, and you gave me something else that's what I needed.
Yeah.
Right?
Nah, that's good.